Welcome, welcome, welcome to my live show. Susan Winter here, thrilled to see all of you here when I open up. Today, big discussion. I'm going to talk about the difference between time wasters that are heartbreakers and how you can tell if somebody's actually serious. Firstly, let me thank my gal, Gwyneth, could not show up each week without lovely B and Gwyneth. B is at the theater tonight, but Gwyneth is with us every Thursday. I can't believe it. And those of you that take photos of you watching me while you're having your dinner, my European clients and followers, thank you so much. And for those of you that are new, hang on because I got some great information for you. Dating can be so much less painful, but we are going to be mindful of 3 markers that distinguish the difference between somebody wasting your time and somebody who's truly serious. Jillian, thank you for showing up today. Gwyneth, so happy to have you here. We've got Katarina here. John is in the house. Jillian, the other Jillian is here. So happy that we're talking about this because we all know that we can get caught up in the dream. And I don't want any of you to let the excited first moments of meeting somebody take your hopefulness and create this temporary blindness so that you can't really see what's going on. This discussion is for those of you who want a committed relationship that is going toward an intentional direction. It's for intentional daters, right? It's to sift out. So my big buzzword, I think I was saying this year, is filter, filter, filter. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. And if you have a question for me, put it in Super Chat for sure. I'll read it. And when I'm done with the commentary, I will be telling you about some wonderful things like me coming to Singapore, January 25th through February 2nd for private consultations and a meet and greet year 2024. So hang on for that information. Okay. Now, you're seeing somebody. It's kind of early days and you want to know, are you investing in something where they're investing as well? So basically, I want you to remember this phrase. It's kind of a Susan phrase. Do they want what you want? And do they want it with you? These are 2 main distinguishing things that we need to think about. Do they want a relationship? And a lot of people say online, yeah, looking for a relationship. They're not. Do they really want a relationship? We're going to tell you how to figure that out. And if they want that, do they want it with you? Or are they just treading water with you because they're waiting for somebody else to come around? They enjoy seeing you, but they're not that into you. And believe me, there are people who can do this for 5 years. Those of you who ask me, I don't understand. We were together for 3 years. Suddenly they say they're not feeling it. And immediately they get involved with somebody else. And they marry them. What happened? This is the difference. I need to show you the distinction between when somebody is keeping you on simmer and when they're actually moving it forward. So thank you for all the wonderful commentary. I can see it coming up here. How to know if he's serious to make it work in college or not. You've got a lot of time. But let's say you have a short-term relationship because you're in college and it doesn't make it through that time. I will give you, it applies the same way. This is about time allocation. This is about intentionality. And this is about sensitivity and working with you. All right? Number 1. Okay. Who's doing the work? Who's doing the work in this relationship? Is it you? Are you the one doing the pursuing? And this is independent of gender roles and all that stuff. Did somebody kind of chat you up, start to see you? There's a bit of a lag. And now you're like, hey, I'm going to be in your neighborhood Friday night. Oh, I have an extra ticket. You know, I didn't know about this. My cousin backed out. Just want to know if you'll join me. You know, an excuse. Oh, hey, thinking about you, had so much fun the other day. I was just thinking my company has an event and I kind of need a +1. You'd really be doing me a favor. Are you the one creating the overtures? Are you the one doing all the work? Because if somebody is serious about you, they'll be pulling the cart in tandem. They will be just as interested in seeing you, communicating with you, spending time with you. So the number one qualifier is who's doing the work. Are they messaging you? Are they making time to see you? Are you a priority? Do they communicate with you? Who's doing the dominant communication? Somebody said once to take a look at text messages. Like somebody will write this, right? Then the other person writes this. I used to do that only because in texting as a writer, I write complete sentences, and I realize it's a lot to look at. But who's doing all the communicating? So in a relationship with somebody who is serious about you, they are actively communicating, following up, pursuing you. They are just as interested in opening their schedule. What about this? Oh, I have a really busy job. This job thing, people utilize this basically as a barrier from the beginning. If somebody starts off right away by saying, listen, just so you know, I have a very busy job, they may be telling you the truth. That is vital information. But if you find that they have left that like a breadcrumb to foreshadow the fact that they will compartmentalize you and rarely see you because of this excuse that they handed up front. Oh, it's the job. Yeah, it's not about that. Believe me, I really like you. It's just I'm really busy. I did tell you that in the beginning. So I'm not responsible, right? We have to see through this. So before you let your hopefulness go galloping forward and invest in this person and start to build your dream around them, do a reality check. Who is doing the bulk of the communication? Okay? Even if you did a little bit more and you pull back, are they kind of picking up the slack? If you find you are doing all of it, that's a clue. That's a clue something's going on. Oh, I know they were hurt in their last relationship. They're scared. Oh, I am so exhausted with that excuse. Do not date. Don't date. I can't stand getting involved because my heart might break. What the hell are you doing on a dating site? What in the world are you asking somebody out for? If you know you've got nothing to offer them, isn't that silly? It's like having a storefront, inviting people in, and you got nothing to sell. What are you doing? Tell the person, oh, you have a broken heart. You're afraid to get hurt. You shouldn't date. Just be real. They shouldn't be dating. Go to therapy. Go heal yourself. When you think you're ready, open up a profile. Call somebody up. Ask them on a date. I mean, really, this is insane to me. So you have to really get clear on all this, all right? Okay. 1, who's doing the work? It's got to be the both of you together. Oh, I'm seeing hearts. I don't know what the hearts are from. What does that mean? How come there are hearts flying around here? Somebody with more technical information than me, please tell me. Oh, my goodness. It's good that you reflect these realities. Jillian, I have to. The world is so nutty out there. I thank you for the hearts. I'm kind of excited. This is really cool. Nika, wake up. She's lying on the bed like this. Okay, that's true. Thank you, Sean. Yes, okay, it's a real deal. She's addressing everything. Thank you so much. I love this. I don't want him or anybody else. How can I bring myself back? Need a new mindset. Zani, hang in here. We're going to reconfigure your mind. And thank you for the love and the hearts and the 100s and all this stuff. I love this. Okay. You've got to have yourself together in order to really meet your match, everyone. You will meet pretty much within the realm of where you are. Now, are there people who've gotten married? at a horrible time in their life where the person came in to rescue them and they were both wounded, yes, it can work. Generally speaking, in today's world of dating, you've got to do the basics. Know what you want and stay mindful. Are they on the same path? Again, do they want what I want? And now, are they showing proof that they want it with me? Gwyneth, the hearts are a new thing that people can send when they like what you're saying, a bit like a heart. I love this. God, thank you, Gwyneth, for helping me. Thank you, thank you. Okay, the second one, goal markers. Every serious relationship or person who's taking you seriously will make sure you will see that there is a progression of relationship goals that have been achieved. For example, I'm going to give you some examples. One is exclusivity, major filter for what you have and what you not have. Do they want to lock you down? Do they have the exclusivity conversation with you? Do they tell you this is all I want? And then you negotiate. So one is exclusivity. All right, getting off the apps and we're going to try this together. That's a huge marker. Two, are you meeting their friends? Have they integrated you into their social circle? This is another marker that they are serious about you. Remember, compartmentalization means exclusion. All right, we're talking about inclusion. Couples, healthy relationships include. You weave your lives together. This is part of the awareness of are they putting in a little box? Do they just kind of see you on Tuesday nights? And you can see somebody for 4 or 5 months on a Tuesday night and think you've got something. You don't. You have Tuesday night. I mean, are they giving you a piece of the pie? And here's where I know it gets very confusing. I have people who say to me, they will get into a session and they'll say, okay, so I've been with this person for about a year and a half. And I stop and I say, okay, what do you mean? They said, we've been seeing each other a year and a half. And I'll say, were you a couple? Well, we were together a lot. Were you an established couple? Well, we didn't really talk about it. It was just kind of understood. All right, that's a fuzzy, no, we're not. And then I proceed, did you have sexual exclusivity? Yeah, I think so, pretty much, yeah. And then I'll say, did you meet the friends? I met a couple of their friends. Did you meet their family? Oh, no. Were you invited to business events? Well, we didn't really have that kind of, so you see how they're backpedaling? Don't allow your mind to do this. You can see somebody for a year and a half and have regular sex with them. Doesn't mean it's going anywhere. It means they like to see you and have regular sex with you. It's about inclusion. Are you in their world? Let me read this. Nafthuza, adore you, my dear. Nafthuza's in the house, $5, thank you. I am having an issue with men insisting me to prioritize them prior to meeting. When I'm honest and direct with them, they get upset and ghost me. They could be scammers, sweetie, if this is online. This is a typical scammer move. If somebody's telling you that they want to lock you down and they have not met you, they probably want to get you off the app. But how can somebody want to close the deal when you've never met them? This is crazy. This is not cool. Doesn't feel right. It's off. It's a no-go. Sometimes you have to make it that simple. Our mind finds these little tricks to play with us to make it okay because we really want it to be something. And if you've had a dry spell or this is the first person you've met in a while that really kind of ticks your boxes and gets you going, you're going to see what you want to see. And that's okay. But then you have to refocus your eyes to what is and stay attuned to that so that you don't have repeated and unnecessary heartbreak. All right. Oh, in general, Friday and Saturday nights are prime dating real estate. You are correct. If you're not getting at least one of those time slots on the regular, you're probably not exclusive. True. Love this. Okay. So let me go into this. So the goal markers, are actually a progressive weaving you into their lives. The friends meet you. You meet their friends. They meet your friends. You're an established couple. This is going somewhere. You meet their family. They meet your family. Holidays. All I write about from October to about January, and all the interviewers call me and stuff, they want to know about, like, do we bring our partner home? I've been seeing a significant other. Is it time to bring them home? So when you introduce your person to your family, that's a marker. And then future plans, that's another relationship marker, that they're not wasting your time. What are you doing this summer? Are you going away? Do you have a share? Would you ever want to travel with me? Then the lease is coming up. What do you think about living together? What do you think about marriage? Now, you should have qualified. Do they want what I want, right? Are they looking for a committed relationship? What is their vision? These are first date, easy question discussions, and if they avoid it, there's a reason for it. Somebody should, if they're dating intentionally and want a partner, they should know where they're going. And if all they tell you is, I just want, I want a loving partner, that's cool, but they haven't done their homework. They really haven't. And then what? What does that look like? Ask the questions. What does that look like to you? What kind of relationship would you want to have? When you think of a partner in your life, how do you see yourself functioning day to day? This is why I do the love a la carte. So for those of you that want to work with me for 1 hour, you can either just do a big super session for 1 hour, or we can do the love a la carte. If you're not sure what you want and how to present it, and better yet, by you doing your a la carte version, you're going to figure out whether they match you, and they've even thought about this, because it's important. Do they want what you want? So these are goal markers. Are goal markers toward a relationship being met? We need to know this. If not, please don't fool yourself. So let's go back to the dating business where you're being compartmentalized. There can be confusion. You can be seeing somebody for 6 months, 3-4 months, and simply because of regularity, you believe that you have something, that it's going somewhere, because you regularly see them. But is it meeting those relationship markers? So there are the two currents that ride on top of each other. You're seeing somebody regularly, they're in regular communication. And like Jillian said, are you getting the prime real estate in their lives? Are you getting invited when there's a big to-do? Do they even, like they might mention, do they even invite you? Have you met their friends? Are you being integrated into the complete version of their lives? Because please, please, please don't fool yourself. You have less ability to be hurt when you don't put yourself in the wrong box and put them in the wrong box. Meaning, I was telling this to a friend of mine. I said, the reason you're in pain is you stuck him in the wrong box. He's definitely an F-boy. And he's just somebody who wants to fool around. Nice guy, loves to fool around with you when he has the time. He is not building a relationship. You can see by these lack of markers. So this is what I want you to look at, because time chatting with somebody online, the phone sex, seeing them, hanging out with them, doesn't mean it's going anywhere. Doesn't mean they're serious about you. These are really basic things, like, do they stay overnight? Do they see you on the weekends? Do they see you more than just meeting up to shag? Just know what you've got. You won't be hurt if you put them in the right category. Oh, you might be hurt that they fooled you, but at least you have them in the right category. Don't put them in boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, husband, wife, fiance category if they're showing up casually. Don't give them that elevated status on the pedestal. They do not deserve it. So in the beginning, and I'm not saying be transactional, but I'm saying some people go all in. You're excited and you're a giver. And all of you, from one who knows, have to kind of slow. down, back up, keep reviewing this. Do they want what I want? Do they want it with me? Are they making goal markers? Am I doing all the work? Are they doing the work? Okay. Oh my goodness, so good. There's so many good things here. Oh my God, you guys are having this whole conversation. I've been with my boyfriend for 3.5 years. I don't know if he's serious about me. He's so good to me. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? You don't know if he's serious. He's there 3.5 years. And he's your boyfriend. Okay, not putting you on the spot, ask yourself the following questions. Have I met his family? Do I go on holidays with him? When Christmas, Hanukkah, Eid, or whatever your thing is, when the holidays come up, are we together? Am I invited to every business event? Are we truly integrated? Are we planning a future? Do we live together? Are we planning to live together? Do we want children? Are we talking about marriage? I don't know what the words mean. I've got to know what it means. And what it means is not necessarily the word they say, it's the action they take. Okay? So I had, now from a man's perspective, because I am fluent in man, a man might answer that and go, I've been here 3.5 years. And that's the answer. Meaning, I wouldn't be here 3.5 years and be your boyfriend if I'm not serious. But what you're asking is the question under the question. What is it that you're not getting? Why are you asking me? If you ask a question like that when somebody's with you 3.5 years and you use the word boyfriend, what you're really saying is something's missing. So what is it? What do you want as a marker that you're not feeling is met? What do you need from him that you don't know? I've never heard anybody say I've been with somebody 3.5 years and I don't know what we have. So something's missing. Figure it out. Tell your partner. See if they're willing and able to fix it. Okay? That one's simple, actually. Okay. Third, do they take you seriously? Do they take you seriously? Are they dismissive of your feelings? Are they dismissive of your needing to communicate? Are they dismissive of conflict resolution? Like, do they bully you or punish you for bringing up an issue because, oh, I hate drama. You're being so insensitive. Why do you do that? Why don't you just, it's good. Why do you keep wanting to push, make it something else? See, this is oftentimes what people will do when you creep up next to the truth about what they're doing, which isn't a whole lot. They've just got squatters' rights. They think if they just stay there and give you a little bit, that you'll stick around. And the minute you start to question that, you get spanked. That is not good. I see. Now, Thuza has another $5 here. What do we have? Wanted to share that when I canceled my dating profiles, it was time to break up. Men are approaching me in person again. Space has been cleared. Ooh, good adjustment, girl. Love that. Love that. That's really, really nice. Okay, somebody else says here, sorry I didn't get to finish it. My new man is so nice, but I'm waiting for him to do something to hurt me emotionally. He hasn't done anything, but I'm expecting it. Any advice would be anticipated, appreciated. Okay. Well, don't do that. Some of us have a default within us. It's our go-to from a family of origin, a template that we have of being disappointed. And we truly believe if it's good, the other shoe's going to drop. Don't believe them because they're only going to hurt you. It's too good to be true. Don't be happy. I mean, I hear this. This is not my wound, but it is the wound of others. That you can't let yourself be happy because it's going to end. You can't believe in something because it's going to fail you. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Metaphysically speaking, you all know that. What you look for, you find. And what normally happens is that when people come into a relationship with a wound like this that has been unattended because they haven't gone into therapy or worked through it or done whatever coursework or training they need to eradicate this and to shift their mindset to the possibility that love could exist, consistency could exist, and kindness could exist, and that a person could be real, you'll never experience it. You will always call in what you believe to be the truth, and even if it's not the truth, your mind will make you believe it. I have heard so many stories of women running into me, telling me the horrible story about the guy they're with. And when I actually know the guy they're with, and he might be a client or a dear friend, and I'm listening to them retell this story from this position, where I'm like, where did you get that? And these are well-employed, grounded, otherwise rational women that go into victim mode, like, I'm going to be hurt. I can see it coming. And if they don't see it coming, they find it. They look for evidence of it to prove themselves right. So it is, for many people, a knife's edge between how to trust and how to be aware. But in relationships, we do need to take a calculated leap of faith, or you will never, ever, ever let yourself try. It has to be measured by what you can afford to sustain should a loss occur. You don't gamble more than you have to lose. So you need to check your emotional condition when you start. How strong am I? How resilient am I? It's the dating game. Who knows what I'm going to get? And if you're bold and sassy and brave, you roll the dice and go, what the hell? Might win, might lose. I can handle it. Okay? All right. Very, very good. Okay, here we have $10. Hi, Annie, QT. How are you doing? Thank you so much. I hardball. Okay, cool. Great. Guys, tell me they also want a serious relationship. They are consistent, text a lot, are present, but they back off when I start to believe them and get excited. Are they faking the dream? How many men and how many times and how long before you start? So you're saying you start to let go and trust, and then they pull back, right? I wish I could hear the way you say it. I wish I could see the scenes I'm not seeing, because that would tell me so much. Do a pattern search. I want you to, when we get off, and when this show ends, I want you to take out a sheet of paper, write out the times that this has happened, how many people do you remember, how long were you involved before they broke? Was it always, did they break at the same time that you started to let go? And when you let go, did your personality or energy with them change dramatically? Did you go from kind of being cold and reserved to suddenly like, oh, you're so what? I mean, so let's look at every single factor. I'm not saying it's you, but when you can chronicle the patterns, pattern recognition will help you in a lot of this. That's really how I do most of my analysis. I look and observe human nature. That's why I don't specialize men, women, straight. I don't specialize. I love the mix. I would get exhausted having the same conversations over and over again. And as my buddy Jonathan Aslay says, your SEO just sucks so hard. I know. I have horrible titles that are exactly what you are looking for, if that's exactly it. But they're not the, hey, get that guy. Oh, why is she in text you back? I know. So this one's a little bit more moderate. But you've got to know what's happening here. So what we're trying to distinguish is their behavior and then do a parallel with your behavior and see if we see something that pops up as being like, that happened. They got scared off. I don't know. But also, did you confront them and ask them why? You got nothing to lose. Listen, if you're involved with somebody and you're giving your body and your heart, you've got every reason to ask them what the hell's going on. And they should respond. If they tell you, you're too difficult, I tell them, well, you're fraudulent. I don't know what else to say. Okay. This is so wonderful. Naftuza, thank you for that. That's very encouraging because so many people hate. I actually did a show last week on how to not hate dating, online dating, because I thought it was really, sometimes I think you just have to have fun with it because it's really, I call it the lotto. And for those of you that aren't in the US, it just means like winning whatever your city or state lottery is. It's like millions of dollars. You go and you buy your ticket. It's like maybe a hit. Maybe you get a little bit of money back. Not everybody goes in every day expecting they're going to win. When you win, sometimes you win. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? Any questions here? Okay. Does anybody have any questions about how to tell what is what, right? So being dismissive of your needs mean they apply no effort. No effort means I'm not going anywhere with you because I don't value this relationship enough to put effort into it. Issues go unresolved means I really don't give a shit whether this gets better or not. I just want you to stop complaining. Okay? If they're irritated with your complaints, they will silence you with no contact, no sex, reprimanding you. These are all mind games. We don't want this. Okay? So if you're punished with no contact or retracting or pulling away when you do express your needs? Do they mute you with I hate drama. No drama. I don't want any drama. Drama to them is anytime somebody kind of calls them to the mat and says, hey, that was kind of hurtful, what you did. I really wish that it would be this instead of that. So there are two people involved in a relationship. Two, you and them. You're equally pulling the cart, okay? And if they're blaming you for their lack of effort, meaning you're responding to them, they start saying, you're too insecure, because you're telling them something that really was out of line. Let me see what this says. Outside the US, we have lottos too. Thank you for that. Hi, Jordy. Yes, Susan, drama is them being held accountable. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. That is great. That is great. That is great. So I wrote at the top, time wasters are heartbreakers. Okay? You don't need it if you know where you're going. Now, there'll be those of you tuning in, maybe, who are just like, I just want to have fun. Know who they are and know who they aren't. And be ethical on your end. Do you get a better quality of hookup if you tell them you're looking for a relationship? Yeah, you'll get more sweetness. Be kind. You don't want to hurt them. Go with somebody who's just as cavalier as you are. Don't hurt, innocent people, because then the day will come that you get hurt and you go, oh, I know what this feels like. All right? So that is all I got to say on this. Do you understand how to tell if they're not serious about you? Again, the three things, okay? You're doing all the work, little effort. You're making the communication. They're not. You're giving them excuses to get together because they didn't proactively want to see you. There are lots of legs. It's whatever. And even if it's frequent, they're just treading water if they have you compartmentalized. A certain day, a certain venue, a certain thing. You can see each other like repeatedly, but you never get past a Tuesday, lunch, and then going back to your apartment. Or maybe you get a Saturday once a month. Really? What are they doing every other Saturday, every other Friday, every other Thursday, every other Wednesday? Don't misconstrue that to being a relationship that is going somewhere. That is your sex buddy that has put you on a time schedule that works for them. And if you doubt me and you think you're in it, try and get another day. Try and get a different day. See how they respond. All right? Number 2, again, the goal markers in a relationship. Markers, exclusivity, meeting family, meeting friends, being integrated, future talks about where you're going, being the one that they bring to a business event, being the one that they call right away when something fabulous or something horrible happens, all right? 3rd, dismissive of your feelings. It means no effort, being silenced when you're trying to get to conflict resolution, being told you're too difficult, that you want too much, that they told you that they were hurt in the past. That's all bullshit. Those are just things they do to keep the spin going. Okay? Who has questions? I'm here for you. Do you have questions? Do you have comments? What do you have to say? Let's see, I honestly asked myself, could it be that the guy is only seeing me because I'm ugly and doesn't feel so intimidated? I can't understand why he should like me. Some of you need some help outside of this venue, okay? You've got to value yourself or they won't value you, right? You don't want somebody there for the wrong reasons. It will be more harmful in the long run for you to be misused by someone than for you to be off the dating market. I suggest everybody, many of you have this sorted, so bear with me because it's for those that are getting their confidence up. Dating the wrong people will erode whatever shred of confidence you currently have. You are doing yourself a major disservice if you feel unsafe, uncomfortable, unwanted, undesired, not sure of where you are, not sure of what they feel about you, not sure if they like you, not sure if they're telling you the truth. If you feel any of those things, run like hell. Get out, pull yourself together, get some people you trust, get a support group, because that exposure is like a virus. It's going to make you sick. And if it doesn't destroy you that time, it's going to get to you over time, because if we date too many people in a row that make us feel like that, we are going to start to think that that is the truth, because it's the evidence of what we are seeing in front of our life and our reality. We are unaware of the fact that we are the causation of this by staying in it and by entertaining them and by giving them credence that, oh my goodness, maybe I'm just not good enough. Why don't they want me? This is a huge discussion. Why not me? I've done videos on like, why won't they love me? Yeah, why don't they love you? They can't. They don't know what love is. They won't. They're not interested in it. Cruising has just worked fine. They can pass with very little effort and seem to get laid. So, like, why should they try? So, and some people are truly imbalanced and do it for sport. They're very small in the spectrum of people out there, but they count. Exposing yourself repeatedly to people that make you feel horrible about yourself, even friends or family, is not doing you any good. It won't raise your confidence, and your confidence, without being raised, will allow you to take whatever crumbs the most despicable person throws your way. Okay? Is that a rant or is that a rant? We have a little time left. He might think you're beautiful. Okay, Jillian is so wonderful here. I wish I ran on the first date. I almost did. You're so spot on, Susan. I've done myself a great disservice. First of all, if you feel I was talking to you, I hope you know that I'm in your corner. If you hear me get passionate, I get so angry over abuse of power. Abuse of power is a big trigger for me. And so when you hear me go off, it probably goes back down to that. There are people that have power in this world. They've got beauty, they've got looks, they've got resources, they've got money, they've got joie de vivre, they've got charisma, they've got social currency, whatever it is. And if they utilize that to abuse somebody else, even psychological awareness of game, I am very much offended by that. That is definitely a no-go, like spiritual no. That is like a huge violation of the sovereignty of another human being. let's see, 10 months. Let's see. Nathusa. And she's been if you want to be a member, these are my special groups. Speaking of sport, I've met men who have a list of women they take advantage of and share their tricks with their group of guys. It's an ego boost. Oh, that is so terrifying. But let us not discount only men. I'm sure that women do this too. I'm sure people of all identifications do this. We must always support those who are beautiful and wonderful creatures in this world. Little animals, human beings, protect them, but empower them. So if you are going to love and you are going to be loving, you need to be strong. You can't just be, this is why first love is so painful. We don't have any safety net. We're just like, oh, it's love. And you go with it and you just fall. There's no ego boundaries. There's nothing. And you just fall in. It's so powerful. So we have to know that there can be dangers out there. Don't let it stop you from exploring, but be resilient. And I beg you, see it for what it is. Don't see it for what you fear it is. See it for what it is. Do your calculations. When you're with someone, what do I feel? How do I feel with them? How do I feel about myself with them? Now, if the light is super bright and you're like, oh my God, I'm amazing, this person adores me, player, pretty much player, scammer. But maybe not. So ride it out, because they tend to overshoot the goal. Let me see. There's somebody else here. $8. I want to see what this is. Okay, wait. I missed $8. Where? Yafa. Hi, honey. I have a friend with benefits situation, and when you suddenly realize you want more and feel hurt by the situation, is it typical to lose all romantic, intimate interest? Oh my God! Thank God you do. Thank God that's your default. Yafa. Woohoo! Healthy self-esteem is I want more, you don't want that with me. Now, I'm not attracted to you. That's healthy. And I hope you mean from you. Let me read this again. Feel hurt by the situation. Is it typical to lose all romantic, intimate interest? I don't know who you're talking about. I pray to God it's you. But if they lose all interest in you because you wouldn't just be compartmentalized, then good. So while you're all testing what you want in a relationship, some of you will pass through accepting a kind of, I don't know, I'll get in there and see. Depends on your age, depends on where you're coming from, depends on what you want to be learning. You may not intentionally be dating for a committed relationship. You may just want to get out there, see what's out there, you find somebody nice. And as you grow to be with them, you start to discover you want more. Now, I must share the ugly truth that you don't want to know about yourself. You may be built as a relationship person. Sucks. My life would be so much easier. Do you know how many people thought in my heyday that I would just pick up a young guy, have him for a breakfast, little chew toy, and then throw him away and have somebody at night? I mean, unfortunately, I was not built like that. I hated it. I tried every way I could to eradicate that pesky bit of attaching, loving, nurturing, wanting to be all in. I couldn't stand the fact of the way I was built, but I had to be honest. Sometimes you pass a line. You like being respected. You enjoy being loved. You like being a priority. You love the fact that you have somebody that you know has your back. They honor you. They respect you. And it's really damn hard to give that up. You may have crossed a line with this person. I'm not saying every person deserves to be relationship category. That's your determination as to what they bring to the table. But if you find over and over again that you think you're going to start, just kind of cruising along and do things and letting it go with the flow and maybe see what happens and you end up wanting more, you may have to start to say to yourself, maybe I should shoot higher, dream bigger, ask for more from the beginning, because it appears when push comes to shove, if I like them, I want more. It's a brilliant realization, and I appreciate your sharing it. Okay, let's see. There was somebody else. I know there was a euro in here. Joanna, 6 euros. Thank you, my dear. I let man do most of the work in the beginning stages of dating. How can I make sure he knows I'm serious if I wait for him to put most effort? Okay, congratulations. Imagine if I were trying to speak in your language. I know this is a translation, and this is the first contribution you've had, so let me try and understand this, okay? You are more prone to being involved in a traditional gender courtship, right? You want to know that they are doing all the work, and that's your distinction. And if that is the dynamic that you enjoy, and that's correct for you in your society and in your world and what you want, if you're noticing that he's not putting in effort, then that's pretty much a no-go. But let us assume that, okay, now here's the exclusion, and it involves a conversation. Before you kick them to the curb and just say, you didn't care and you didn't try, let's try one more thing. Let's just give them a little bit of information. Nowadays, it has become pathetically obvious to any female who's straight that men do not know how to pursue. They've stopped pursuing. They've just completely stopped. And we're told to do so for the last 20 years by dating coaches who are supposed to, they're supposed to dangle a little bit of attention in front of us, conditional on getting laid. And if we don't jump through that hoop, then we get no attention whatsoever. And they are taught this. They have been taught to be passive. So if you are waiting for a man to be assertive with you, and you think that he wants a relationship, and you think seriously he's a good guy that wants a relationship with you, you need to speak up. You need to say, look, I like you. Don't feel ashamed to say I like you. Sometimes they're as terrified as you are. Maybe they're a player, maybe they're lazy, but maybe they're terrified. I like you. I can't do all the work. I'd love to have you ask me out. If you want to see me, call me. If you want to go out on a date, ask me out on a date. If you don't, I must assume you're not interested, and I'll move on. How long did that take? Replay this. Write the words down. Say it. Practice it. Say it to him. Send it in a text. I really like you. I don't see much of you. If you want to see me, ask me out. Let's do stuff together. If you don't, I must assume you are not interested. And therefore, I'm going to leave. Everybody has to know consequences, okay? Let's see what else we have. All the dysfunctionalities that one needs to work on, especially come to the surface in a relationship. Oh my God. So years ago, oh God, I think it was, oh Lord, 90s. I remember being in a 12-step meeting, sharing, I think relationships are like putting Miracle Grow on your character defects. And don't you know, I have heard that quoted, I don't know how many thousands of times since then. Now, I'm not saying I'm the only one in the world that said that. I tend to come up with things that come out of my mouth. Then people go, oh my God, what did you just say? And I don't remember, because it just comes off the top of my head. But it's true. It's like putting Miracle Grow on any insecurity you've got. For those of you that don't know, you're not gardeners. It's some like vitamins for vegetables. It's supposed to make a tomato like this grow like this. So yes, I don't need to go to a therapist to dig up my stuff. All I have to do is get into a really high-pitched relationship. It's going to come flying to the surface. Oh, thought you were confident, huh? Thought you had it all together. Ah, now what you going to do? Yeah? Now, big girl, what you going to do? Let's see, 10 months. What is this? I think this is Jillian. Hello, beautiful Jillian. Men can be activated into their masculine energy when women show appreciation for what they're doing. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, this is a great turnaround and a positive message. It encourages them to do more, Tell him how good it feels to hear his voice, see his text, etc. Correct, correct, correct. That's another way to do it. If you've watched my videos, if you know my work, I'm always talking about appreciation. So very, very, very important to keep your partner incentivized. I mean, jump up and down like it's Christmas. They get you a glass of water. They ask you if you're warm enough. Stuff like this. It's very, very thoughtful. Are you okay? How's your day going? It's so wonderful. Appreciation is the glue that keeps you all together and keeps them incentivized. I just have to make sure before I sign off today, I want to make sure I've gotten to everybody. I love this. I love this. I love this. I directly state that I'm looking for a traditional relationship and have a man tell me what he thinks that means. When he mentions courting and does not pursue me, I am out. Okay. Love that you all know what you want. That's important. Okay, Susan is right. The truth will set you free. Then move on. I really do like to try to express my reason for leaving before I leave. Unless they're abusive or just so horrific that I need to cut all contact. And that's very, very rare. But for me, the very selfish fact is that I have nothing left to say. And they don't have to wonder what happened. And maybe, if they are startled by this or they cared enough, they're going to realize, oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't do that. She was pretty nice. Oh, man. You know, you might be helping them for the next partner. It doesn't mean you lecture them, you don't school them, but you need to tell them what's not working. We always start with honey, and then we go to a slap, okay? Any other questions? Any other questions for me, okay? So time wasters can be heartbreakers, yep. Does your person want what you want, and do they want it with you? And have they satisfied those three things? I love this. Anything else? We cannot listen. Well, I love men. We can't gang up on all of them. I've heard, I'm telling you, ladies, please, just so you know, there are rotten people in every category, all right? And there are really good people, and there are hurt people, and there are people that make bad choices. Instead of saying, you know, I'm sorry, or you hurt me, or, you know, they'll try and hurt you back or something. But you're looking for a partner with enough of a skill set to get into a healthy, productive relationship. These are simply the qualifiers to not have you waste time in hope. I have a saying, hope can be harmful. It can. We need it, but in a case like this, when we're just building the dream and hoping and seeing what we want to see, it's the opposite of the person who only sees the fear and the negative is going to happen if you're only looking at the positive. And I do realize it is an energetic balancing act. We need to be loving and positive to allow the environment to grow. We also have to believe and invest in order to see it grow. We can't just like, okay, I'm not going to give. I want to see if you give to me. I want to see if you give to me. And we can't be like, oh, I'm here for you. So we are constantly balancing ourselves in a relationship between overgiving and undergiving, reaching out and self-protection, constantly between, am I seeing what I want to see, or am I aware of what you're actually showing me? So this balancing act and asking yourself what's going on is very important to decide the value of the person you'll be with. And your number one indicator is how you feel about yourself in their presence. All right? So I want to see if there's anything else. I've given myself time. I'm a permanent wimp, LOL. You might be a very loving person, but that can work to your favor. Okay? Our greatest strengths are our greatest weaknesses, and our greatest weaknesses are our greatest strengths. Think about that, really. It's true. Okay. Anything else here? Okay. I love the fact that you're all talking to each other a la carte. Yes, that's a very good way to do it. Let me tell you about a couple things. Did any of you, oh, Nika, it's baby Nika's. Nika, they've got your photo here. Now, you look very uninterested. You just look like a bunch of white puff on a comforter of white puff with more white puff all around you. um, Anybody here buy Older Women, Younger Men Dating Guide? As it was on sale. Okay. Now, I've just added 11 more videos to our long form, like an hour, to the money, power, and sex category. I've added more stuff for the guys because we have men in here that are with an older woman and trying to handle economic disparity. Her ex knew all about fine wines. I don't. Or hell, I don't like some of her friends. They're really creepy. How do I do all this? I'm adding more material to this all the time. And for those of you that bought the dating games guide, I originally thought these were static and that whatever you bought at the time, that was all the material. And there's tons in the dating games guide. But when I get done updating this most recent one, I'll go back into dating games guide and add more there because there are more discussions I've had about different terms. So if you are a part of any one of my guides, here's the really cool thing. There is, in Dating Games Guide, there's a community page. In Older Women, Younger Men, there's a discussion thread. That's your portal to me. You get access to me, to ask me questions. You, your little group, to ask me about the things that confuse you. I show up, I answer, I write it, I speak it, or I do a video for you. So it's a community, all right? The Older Women and Younger Men Guide is not a hookup community. It's not a getting together community. It is for people who are involved in an age gap relationship and need some clarity and support from others around them. Okay, that's number one. Singapore, meet and greet, sometime between January 25th and February 2nd. I will actually be there longer on either side, but those are the dates that I'm available for a one-on-one in person. I have a lady flying in from Myanmar. I have another one flying in from San Francisco. If you're in Asia and you want to do that, please consider media@susanwinter.net. Let's begin to write me. Tell me who you are. I'll make a list. Then you will all be on a list for the meet and greet, which is I buy a table and I have some tea and coffee and appetizers, and we all sit down and say hi to each other. It's very informal, okay? If you want to buy something extra, you want a glass of wine, that's on you. But I just make sure that we have a place that's lovely where we can sit and I can say hi and I can meet you. That's it. It's just, I'm here, wanted to say hi, wanted to meet my people. After that, I will be doing Dubai. That I was going to do it November 2024, but it might be too soon, so I may wait a little bit later, okay? But Dubai will be the next trip after Asia. All right. And we're still working on New York City. We had a date planned in New York City. Our guy that was working with us switched companies. I'm like, I want to make the announcement. I've already got a list of people for the New York meet and greet. He's like, Susan, I'm not with that company anymore. I'm going to switch. He goes, don't worry, I'll work something out. So I'll give you soft promos of a New York meet and greet. When I have the real information, I ask people to come on board. I start promoting it. And all of these are safe. I vet everybody. We do. Well, Singapore and Dubai may be the safest places in the world, but I make sure that everybody is known, they're identified, and then you're all in a group with emails. Then you discover where and when. Okay? I mean, like the location. So stay in tune for that. If you want a consultation, go to susanwinter.net. If you want an in-person with me in New York, we can do that. Take a look at the 3-hour package that I have. And in September, Core Club is moving to 3 stories on Fifth Avenue. That's where I do my work. It's closed during August. We're going to have to sort something out because their facility is completely closed for this new grand opening. It's beyond spectacular. I mean, I try and knock it out of the... I pay this membership just for my privates. So you can meet in the most extraordinary, luxurious, elite environment. That's what you deserve. You're spending money, you're going to get quality plus a meal. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. What else do we have here? Consultations, Singapore, older women, younger men. I think we're good to go. Unless there's any other comments, I think we're good. Thank you, everybody. New York City next month. Date set for Susan's Shindig. We had it set on the 19th. They never got back to us. The gals dropped the ball. The guy that was organizing it said he's no longer with them anymore. It was in the financial district. This is why I do soft rollouts. Singapore is a hard set. Bought the tickets, paid the fees on a 3-week cruise after that. It's like a very long time. I'll definitely be there. Okay. So January 25th through February 2nd, I will be in Singapore. Definitely there. Done, paid for. New York, glad you're interested. Still trying to sort that one out. That would be fun. I've never done a meet and greet in the US. All throughout Europe, never in the US. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Love to all of you. I'm going to think of a great title for next week and what we can talk about. I appreciate your contributions. Gwyneth, thank you for being here and wishing all of you great discernment. You have to believe in love to have it happen. Remember, time wasters are heartbreakers. Do they want what you want, and do they want it with you? And have they met those 3 things? Do they stay in constant contact with you and give you more than just once every once in a while? Do they meet the goal markers of a relationship? And are they inclusive and concerned about your feelings because they think you're amazing? I'll see you next week, everybody. Bye now. Thank you.